Hey guys, welcome to another session with me. Before we start, guys, just let's check how market is doing. Today, I really don't expect much movement, at least during the US session. We can see something good, but we have the interest rate later on today. And the key focus is going to be on that rate. Of course, no one is expecting the market to change the rates, like the Fed to change the rates today. But what's going to be the main focus would be that policy statement and the press conference. This is technically speaking, the first or this is second conference with the new chair. And after that first one, when they told us that they won't prepare the market, definitely this can be interesting. Now, what I want to be focused during the statement would be to see how people voted, because the last time we had only two members that voted for the change, and market will react, technically speaking, based on that. Like, if we see today the same story, market won't react. But if we see the change in the votes, especially from the people that voted to hold, that can trigger some momentum. Of course, if we take a look at the dollar index is still doing exactly what we wanted. Like, we are still going with that idea of a bullish scenario here. Like the last time when we spoke, we said market is bullish, market should continue to do what? Market should continue to create more higher highs and higher lows. So I really still expect the same scenario. We are at the moment stuck in that gap from Monday morning. Like market is waiting to get a new piece of information to decide what side we want to go. But I'm still more bullish and more looking for previous month's highs and new monthly highs to be created compared to see a little bit of a lower levels. Of course, I'm not going to ever say that market can do this, but we need to wait and see. Also, keep in mind that starting from today, like starting from that race, we have a full red calendar for tomorrow and Friday. So there will be a lot of new pieces of information that will come to the market, something that should, technically speaking, give us a decent volatility. That's probably something that everybody is waiting for. So I would be, technically speaking, short-term bullish for the US dollar while we remain above this 191. Like a short term, I mean like this session. And if that's true, we want to see what? We want to see euro lower. Euro trend slightly changed after a strong spike from yesterday, but we will need to wait and see the decision. Like if we are looking at this from, let's say, technical point of view, this move is looking like a correction. So I wouldn't mind that idea of this being a potential flag, that we see a spike higher before we continue to move lower. More because if you look the higher time frame trend, let me hide the indicator for a second, we can clearly see a nice bearish momentum. So the larger trend remain bearish, if you ask me, and it's going better if you want to align it with a dollar index. Now, that's why dollar index can move lower before we continue to see a push higher, and I really would love to see dollar index breaking this 101.52 because the larger trend is bullish, and I don't want that part to change. Now, I saying I don't want that to change more because we are not getting any good data coming from Iran, and until we don't have something positive about that war, US dollar is going to remain stronger. And since that's the key, everybody will just pay attention to the news later tonight, and based on how market react, just give me a moment, guys. I need to adjust one trade. Okay. And based on that, we will see a short-term reaction. But if we don't have anything new or anything strong in terms of a data that's going to come, of course, everybody will shift the focus back to the Iran and waiting for a more data on that regard. We go to the pound dollar, it's a similar story. The trend is bearish. We are bearish. We want to see a new low, so everything below 132.70 should be ideal if you ask me, but to probably wait, just give me a moment. We have order blocks here from a 15 minutes time frame. We have 1 hour order block up here. So if we get there, I would love to start thinking about the selling, just because right now we are a little bit late to the party. But if we manage to get higher, I really believe that this can again be a decent trading opportunity for us. So just pullback plays are fine. Aussie dollar, same story. We are bearish. Last order block worked out pretty good. We have a three-leg move here, so some sort of a flag test of the VWAP. So that part is also good. And if you want to sell, I would really like to wait for price to get back to 69.70 and from there to try to pick up that next selling opportunity towards the new lows. I'm always saying you need to wait more because if you sell now, you need to use this part as your stop. And if all you care is that market should create the new low, you're not going to create something special. But if you wait for the market to reach the order block, get some sort of a confirmation, and from there try to get into the position, you can create much better risk reward. And in trading, the entire game is about waiting, creating a better, best potential risk reward for yourself, and not trying to chase every single candle move because that will never result successfully. Kiwi dollar, similar story. We are bearish here. See where we can get into position. Maybe on a retest here. We can try some small position. But let's see. Market trend is bullish. We found the support here a couple of times. US dollar is also still around the high, so that can move the market. So maybe we get some sort of a pullback that we can try some small long position. I think like this just quick due to one idea, nothing more than that. Or if you want to play a little bit safer, to trade against 140.84 and try to get towards previous day's high. So again, you get 1 to 2. It's a little bit more safer. This approach would be a little bit more aggressive, but in general, both things should be fine. Dorian is still the pair that I'm not that keen on trying. We've seen some momentum this week, but go to the higher time frame. Here, 1, 2, 3. So a correction. And because of that, I would more be a buyer than a seller at the moment for sure. This is looking like a potential ugly looking triangle, as we can expect to see market back to 163.85, which is the hourly order block. You also have the same order block on the 15 minutes time frame. So definitely those two can work out. So maybe you can try that part. Euro yen is slightly different story. Why am I saying slightly different story? Just because in the dollar yen you have a clean correction, while here in the euro yen I can force some sort of a correction, like from here to be some sort of a flat, but I would rather love to see a new low before we continue to move higher. Pound yen is bearish. Yesterday we took the short position from aftermarket, revisited this order block. Right now, I'm not in a trade. I got that win. I'm thinking like there is a way that we can still try it, especially if, while better to say, while pound dollar continue to move lower, we can scalp the pound yen towards the downside. If you want to scalp the pound yen, make sure. Mm-mm. Make sure to start locking out at least your stop to the break even around 270.33. That's that equal from here to here. So based some sort of a pullback, you can get into the short. Look for 1 to 2, but at the equal make sure that you go and try to move the stop to break even. More aggressive approach would be to use this part as your stop. So this high at 270.63. But if you want to play safer, definitely this high should be your stop loss. Euro-AUD trend is bullish. I like the pair, but this pair didn't really recover lately. Like, I love it, but we are missing any test of some order blocks, or at least that we return towards 163.44, that old resistance that could now become a potential support. It's similar story like here. So automatically only if we get lower, I would be interested in looking for the long positions. If not, eh. I would just stay aside. Mm. You're a cat right now approaching some tested order block. Market is rejecting that order block at the moment. Let's see if we need to go for this hourly order block to find the buyers. But at the end of the day, if we manage to close above the weekly open, we can try a position towards the previous day's highs. At least that part. Something like this. Get crazy good risk reward. Get 1 to 2. Probably better idea wait for the weekly for the price to close above the weekly open, then look for the pullbacks and try to get into the trade. I'm saying try to get into the trade um, after at the pullback more because you'll create much better risk reward. Like you'll create 1 to 3 till the previous day's highs. So it's much smarter to try that approach compared to the idea of trying to buy over here and you barely get 1 to 1.5. If you're risking $100, you would just look to make $150, and that's not that ideal. Maybe I would try it, but in general, I would try to move the stop to break even, and I would rather look for a pullback, wait for the pullback, and from there try to get into a play. What we said about the dollar should continue to move higher. Gold doing what we want, moving lower. I just got hit a break even on gold. I hate that part. It's more because of a spread than anything else. The part I prefer the futures market spread. Definitely, I remain bearish. The main reason why I wanted to get into the position, why I tried a small position before we started the session, was that first we tested this liquidity over here. After that, market continued to move lower, and then on the order block, I tried the position against this high over here. As soon as markets start to move lower, my EA just moved my stop to the break even and I got filled out. But I would like to see a new lows over here easily. I'm bearish, I remain bearish. I know I was bullish at one point. Right now, for the last couple of weeks, I'm bearish. I don't want to try to buy it. So we'll see. Especially as much as dollar index continue to push higher and crude continue to move higher, like what we are seeing right now, gold will continue to move lower. There is no anything special about that, about the reason why gold should continue to move lower. And crude continue to really nicely push higher. We took this resistance moving hard towards the weekly open. Maybe we go for the gap fill here, but let's see. Pay attention to the data around pay attention to the data around Iran. Silver, same story as gold. We went, tested the order block, moving lower. So just looking for the price to get below 56.60 next. I'm more trying to trade gold compared to silver these days. Why I'm not sure, maybe because of the spread, especially in the CFDs are crazy. And I can't really trade the smaller time frame that's profitable there. Futures you can try, but it's different. But all good. Copper continued to move lower. We remain bearish here. Sorry guys if you hear my dog. So definitely pullback plays into the order blocks can be a decent setup. This is something that we can watch, but it's commodities. Everything is doing the same thing. So bearish, bearish, bearish. Crypto market is interesting. I really believe that the crypto can move today. And I'm saying crypto can move today more because of that idea of interest rate in the US dollar. For me, this is me. I would look at this part as a flag, larger flag, and that we are going to move lower. For me to be interested in selling at this moment, I want the price to close, like 15-minute candle to close below 64,195. And from there, a pullback play just over 63.60 would be my favorite play, but a pullback play, not wait for the market to close, you enter because you won't get decent risk reward. For the stops, I would use the high of a day. So 64,660. Similar story in Ethereum. Maybe in Ethereum, I would personally prefer to see a test of the order block before we move down. But here, I see that nice flag. Flag is what? A formation that suggests a continuation of the previous trend. In case of the Bitcoin, that's bearish. NQ also lower, ES also lower. Remember, from the last session we had till today, I really didn't change much. I'm more bearish there, especially with the rates. We can expect to see a continuation of the bearish momentum. Just give me a moment. Okay, so automatically I would more look for the short place. Of course, we'll see after the rates, but it's later today. What to do? I really believe that maybe today the best part would be to wait for the race, see how markets would react, and from there try to build a plan. Because everything till then is just going to be a market noise, nothing else. So just a market noise. Everything else is going to be a waste of time. Like, do I see a potential pullback in gold? Yeah, you can say that. Even that, like, markets will just pounce between these areas until we see the data from the US, of course. So if there is a chance to trade, you can take the trade. Just keep in mind, play safe. Don't be so picky about your stop. Don't try to make them too small at this moment, just because we will see a little bit of higher price action today. So just because of that, I would rather play safe. Wait for the setups. There are setups that are worth watching, like Aussie dollar, like pound dollar. The Kiwi dollar can be a decent play short term. Let's see. The US dollar slightly rebounding. Dollar cat is moving lower. Maybe if market return higher, you can get into long position against the low, but if you return higher, market finds some support. Dollar yen, we'll see how markets will react around the order blocks. So maybe that. Pound yen, like we said, you need the 15 minutes candle to close below this area. From there, pullback plays. Yeah, fine. Euro Aussie for me is the trade that I want to watch. Market didn't close above the weekly open, so I don't care. Like we just went for the lower level. But if I need to wait for a confirmation, I would still need for the market to close above 160.52, and from there a pullback play. So a lot of things to focus on today. Just play safe, don't try to rush the process, and you should be good to go. That's all for this session, guys. I hope you enjoyed. We are going to have more free sessions. Next one will be the next week. So I'll see you then. Have a great have a great race, guys, today, and pay attention to the news. Take care, guys. Bye.